Hello YouTube, Totalhenry here, and I have another sketchbook video for you. This is my sketchbook that I had for my class junior year in high school. It was honors art. So let's start right into it. The first thing I'm going to show you is this list. You can feel free to pause the video if you want to read all this. But basically, our teacher wanted us to prepare pages in certain ways, like add color to it or something, just to make it more fun or make us think when we would go and sketch on top of it. Just to, as opposed to starting with a blank page, like try to add two colors to it or something. So this was just a sketch I did of like two people staring at each other. So a lot of these are prepared, quote unquote, prepared pages, and if you wanted to read the list, you would sort of see what the pages were. And some of these I did go back and draw on top of. Others are just the prepared pages. Like one of them was write about your summer, so I wrote about my summer. You can pause the video and read that. One was doodle on a page of pen. The idea was, as opposed to drawing something on a blank page, try to create a good image on top of something like this, and it makes you think about the choices you're making, and you are taken out of your comfort zone. I didn't wind up using a lot of those, but some of the prepared pages were fun. Well, I actually did wind up using this prepared page for a homework assignment. I had to color something, so I used this page and I colored it in, and I don't know, I kind of like the pattern here. I wish some of the trapezoids were the same size. This is another prepared page that I don't think I used. This is pencil sharpeners. I think it was draw the same thing over and over again in different sizes. I kind of like that, even though it's not much. This was a prepared page that I actually went back and I used. I don't know why. I don't think I had any rhyme or reason for wanting to draw this. I think I drew the hand first, then I'm like, well, let's add a face here. So the face was just kind of stuck in there. I think I overdid it with the sweat and the blood, but I kind of like the hand. I glanced through this beforehand, and there's not that many good sketches in here. This was a prepared page that I never wound up using. Might be interested to go back and try to draw something on top of that. I don't know why I'm showing you these prepared pages. This is supposed to be like an outline of a paintbrush and a paint bottle. I don't know what the bottom outline is. It's supposed to be negative space. Okay, so here are the actual sort of sketches. I forget exactly what these were for. I think I was playing around with perspective, like looking down at a person versus looking up at a person. And I think this was for an assignment where we had to exaggerate proportions, so I was playing around with that. This is my partner that I was going to draw. He was going to be sitting down, and I thought, well, what if I tried to exaggerate his feet? This was a homework assignment, and I drew Ippu from Hajime no Ippu. I think the assignment was to draw something that I like, and I'm like, I like this character. Can I draw it? And my teacher's like, well, if you tell me who the author is and give credit to the original creator, sure, have fun. This was a drawing I did of my dog. Doesn't really look that great. This is another sketch of my partner for that assignment. Just trying to work out the pose and proportions and all that stuff. Let's give you guys a closer look at that. I may have shown that the final piece in a different video. I forget which video. This is a homework assignment, and I drew a Winnie the Pooh bear. I thought it would be interesting to just only color it with the, or not include all the color. I don't really like the way it turned out. I think that was a bad choice, just to draw the color in the red shirt. I don't know what the hell this is, and I should be ashamed of myself for drawing this. This is pretty bad. The hand, he's supposed to be like crossing his arms over his chest, but like, the hell is that? It's also, the head is way too small. So again, the homework assignment for things that I like, I drew this. This was supposed to be sports. Like, I was really, I guess, really into boxing at the time, and I liked the New York Jets. I'm a Jets fan. I like the way the football helmet came out. This one, I was playing with shadows, just using black and white. I don't really like this one that much. I don't think it looks that good. I think the shape of the shadow right there does not really follow the contour of the face enough. This was, I remember liking the idea for this drawing at the time. It's supposed to be a bunch of blocks in one perspective, and they were going to have like manga eyes, or it was supposed to be a whole manga face on the side of the block, and it's supposed to be like coming out of the block, like the nose right there is coming out of the top of the block, the ear is coming out of the block, and then I tried to draw the eyes on the block in perspective, and there's the hair, there's the mouth. It's unfinished. I didn't know where to take it from there. I know I showed this, the final drawing that these sketches were for in another video. I think it was my art from high school video, so you guys can find that on my channel somewhere. So yeah, I like these sketches. I like the sketches of the bent metal thing. You can see I wanted to look up Salvador Dali because he is really good at depicting these melting sort of objects. I like the way this sketch came out right here. Let's see. This, I don't remember what the assignment was here, but I do kind of like this. My teacher thought I should add some of the squares here, but when I made it, I didn't have them. My teacher thought, well, it would look more interesting if you added the squares. So I have to agree. I like the squares. It breaks up the sort of I was gonna say symmetry, but it breaks up the I don't know what the word is. The uniformity or something. This is a video, or this is a video. Yes, this is a video. This is a manga face that I was trying to use different mediums for. I think I used charcoal, markers, pastel, ink. I used hatching, cross hatching, colored pencils. I used pencil, everything to create this. And I like this. I'd like to do something like this again. Maybe on my channel. Oh my god. It's a great idea. Okay, this was a homework assignment for reflective surfaces. So I put a spoon in a cup of water and tried to draw it. Looking at this now, because this is something I did like 3 years ago, I think this is a good starting point, and I would like to rework this a little bit more. Skip this because that isn't good. Okay, this is another reflective surface assignment. I had a Goku statue, so I held up a mirror and I tried to draw it in front, and then in the mirror behind, the reflection of it was going to be in color. You can't really tell it's a mirror though, and I don't really like the shading on here. There's not enough light value. It looks too grayed out to me. Oh, I get the feeling this might be a long video, and I apologize for that. This was supposed to be my homework assignment for reflective surfaces, but my teacher's like, that's not a reflective surface, draw something else. And I'm glad she made me draw something else because I drew this. Again, I think this could be pushed a little bit further, but this is a metallic water bottle that I have, and it's interesting because it has a dent right at the top, and I was using my new Copic markers to draw this, so that was pretty fun. This is just a page of random doodles and sketches, like the muscular guy down there. And then this is Phone Bone from Bone, I think Jeff Smith. Yep, huge fan of Bone. And another page of sketches, sort of a tessellation MC Escher-esque thing. And then a bearded guy in an angry manga face. So, more reflective surfaces. Again, one thing I'm noticing about my art from back then was I didn't really push things as far as they could be. Like, I didn't spend as much time on things. Like, I think this is an interesting idea. To have, like, someone's taking a photograph and you're looking at the reflection through the glasses. So I think that's an interesting idea, but I didn't spend enough time on it. Maybe I thought it was homework and I just got lazy. Another thing of sketches, another page. This thing up at the top was a sketch for an acrylic painting we were going to do. And I know I showed that in my high school art video. So you can, you can find that on my channel. This was a drawing that I did of a karate guy, and I tried to have lines to show like energy and stuff. The hands really bug me here. Overall, so I guess it's halfway decent. This is my homework for these weeks was going to be color, so I tried to draw a fruit plate. I kind of like this. I like the, I guess the peaches there. I like the shading and the work on that. It's okay. Again, as I was saying, I think back then I need to take more time with my art and not cut corners, or just like keep working on it. This was another color homework assignment. I didn't color the skin back then just because I wasn't sure what color to make the skin. Here I'm starting to get there. I'm starting to take a little bit more time and develop something, and you can start to see the values coming out. These are water guns. These aren't actual guns. This is a sketch of a frog that I started to do, and I wish I knew where that illustration or the image was, because I'd love to go back and actually draw it, but as you can see, this is unfinished. Sketch of a tiger, sketch of a horse. Not much to say about those. More sketches. I don't know what these are for. Can't remember. More sketches here. I'm trying to hurry up because I don't want this to be like a half-hour video, even though I know it's going to be a half-hour video. This is a sketch of a football player, a skeleton, and another skeleton. Maybe this should be broken up into 2 parts. Or maybe I'll just be lazy and upload the whole thing. You guys can watch it if you want. Just more sketches. A drawing of me when I'm like in physics class. I don't really like physics, if you can tell. I kind of like this. I feel like this was inspired by Orin High School Host Club. I might just be making that up. That I was inspired by that. I feel like the proportions are a little bit off, but I do kind of like it. I like the idea. I like the look. I don't know. I should draw more characters in poses like that. Another page of sketches, just manga. I do like his face right here. I think that came out nicely. So this is similar to the karate pose earlier. In the same way that the hands and wrists are really, really bad, and I tried to draw energy, and he has a headband, and I didn't put any attention to the legs. This is kind of interesting. I haven't drawn a lot of pictures where you're looking down at someone like this. I don't know. I think it's okay. The hand. You stand in the rain. I didn't know how to draw the rain from this position. That was something that was challenging. Okay, this is something that's halfway decent. It's a car. Probably could be worked a little bit more. The shading could probably be smoothed out a little bit. But it's okay. Okay, these were sketches for an assignment. I think these were like narrative. We had to draw an image that suggested a narrative. The top one right there is supposed to be, I think, of like a murder. I don't even remember what. I think that's also the murder. Then I thought, well, what if I did a sports one? Like, that's supposed to be a football player. This was for a homework assignment where we had to draw shoes. I really liked this one. I liked the composition. A night on the battlefield. I had fun drawing this, and I remember my teacher thought it was interesting. So this is something that I do like. Not so much the drawings. I think it's not as the armor doesn't look as metallic as it could, but I just like the idea behind it. And sometimes that's enough. This is more in-depth sketching of my narrative idea about sort of like the murder. Just a person sitting in a chair, and looks like there's an open door, there's a window. I guess I was reading a lot of murder mysteries back then. This was the football idea for the narrative. So apparently football can be classified as a narrative. More shoe sketches. This was like a weekly homework thing. I think for this assignment we had to draw a male and female shoe. I kind of like this. I think this came out okay. So I think I eventually, at this point, I decided that I hit the camera. I wanted to do the football thing, so I was working on poses. I wanted some dynamic pose where a player was jumping over another player. So I was working on it with stick figures, just because I wanted to get ideas out there fast. I didn't want to spend forever drawing stuff. So I think here, at this point, I had sort of settled on something. And whenever I draw football helmets, because I'm a huge fan of iShield21, I always draw the Devil Bat logo on there, just because I think it's super awesome, super cool. And this was around the time that I think I was drawing this, that the Broncos were playing the Steelers in the Super Bowl, so I was thinking about that. The following sketches are for that assignment, and these were the individual poses of the three characters that were going to be in my football sketch, or my football drawing, so I wanted to practice each pose, even though individually they're not that good. Like, it's supposed to be the football player jumping over the other person and he's pushing down on the guy's back. He's not like grabbing at his groin or something. Family friendly channel right here. This is I think a good drawing. I managed to find a picture online of a football player jumping over another guy. I like the way the helmet came out. I just like drawing football helmets. I think they're really, really cool. So I always spend a lot of time drawing it. These were supposed to be impossible shoes inspired by MC Escher. Like a shoe that's made entirely out of like yarn you would not be able to wear. A shoe that just has like a gigantic spike at the front of it, so you would like not be able to stand, or a shoe right here where the base of the high heel is like 4 marbles balanced on top of each other. This is another project. So yeah, I think there's a video where I show my football project. If not, I'll probably have one upload. This one, the assignment was to draw a bunch of views. So I had like different me's in like different shapes, and like the circle's collapsing, the one in the center is totally happy, the one in the square is like yelling at me in the center because his little window is broken up. This is going to be a long video. Here's another shoe assignment. This was inspired by Salvador Dali. And the cubes are in 2-point perspective, and then I had these like spikes coming out in the shoes. I don't really know what the deal with the color was, but I thought like red at the top, and I think the color was supposed to be like the color was dripping off of the shoes, because that seemed like a very Salvador Dali idea. If you haven't seen his work, I suggest you look it up because it's incredible. It's really cool. These were faces, just practicing different face poses or different poses of the head. So again, working on the 5 Me project, where the project of 5 different versions of myself. You can see I was going to line them all up. Okay, this is another shoe project that I really like, another shoe homework assignment. It's a cleat kicking the soccer ball. And I added the idea that I had behind this with the color and the speed lines was that like the foot was going so fast that the color was flying off the foot, or flying off the shoe, excuse me. I do like this one. I think that one came out nicely. More sketches. This one right here is supposed to be sort of a sketch of me. Kind of in manga format, because I thought for the 5 Me project I would draw myself in the manga style. Here's another sketch for that project. Just a bunch of me's in different poses, different expressions, some more in the foreground, some in the background, some happy, some not so happy. This is supposed to be a study of anatomy, a study of muscles, but I think the proportions are off, so it doesn't really help you learn about muscles too much if the proportions are off. And then here I tried to draw a muscular guy. I think it's very off on many levels. This was an interesting thing. I covered the page with a layer of pencil, and then I tried to draw a face just using eraser. That was kind of fun to draw. So this is pretty hard to see, but this is supposed to be like a film reel. Can you guys see this? Hopefully you can. And in each film reel is supposed to be like in a photo booth, and you take the photos, and then the film comes out, and there's like 8 different photos. This is supposed to be all the different me's that you saw in all the sketches before. So I was still playing around with various ideas. Here I have some more sketches. I don't know why I was drawing people punching each other in the eyes and kicking each other in the face. I'm just a violent person. What can I say? I hope the sarcasm is getting through to you guys. Oh well. Another manga sketch. It's supposed to be rain, but it doesn't... Is it supposed to be rain? I guess not. Because if it was rain, I would draw lines crossing in front of him. So I don't know what that is. I guess he's just a sweaty, muscular guy. It's supposed to be like a sports announcer? The head looks a little bit weird. I like the way the punch came out here. I think the person flying back, the body leaves a lot to be desired, but I don't know. I feel like you get the sense that he's being punched in the face. And that's what I was going for. Okay, so the last few pages of this sketchbook are a comic. So as you can see, someone's running along the rooftop. I don't have to narrate this, do I? It's supposed to be... It's running along the rooftop, he's sweating, and there's like a gap here, as you can see, between the buildings. And then he jumps over the gap. The first panel here is supposed to be speed lines like towards the top of the building. He crashes there, and the first time you finally see the character, he's like, "I made it! Nice jump!" And he turns around, and there's this evil-looking guy with a super awesome sword and chains. Sort of pulling back here. The character's turning around, and then he starts to get really mad. and eye changes. And then this right here, this is supposed to be the character that we saw on the building with the sword and the chains, not the guy at the beginning who jumped. It's like, my, what do we have here? So then it's supposed to be the first character turns into the monster, and he's supposed to be like this huge monster. I thought it'd be a nice little twist. I drew this for fun. I'm gonna kill you! I don't know where I found the sound effects for this. This is supposed to be, this is a double page spread where he's holding him up over his head with his sword, like he just stabbed the sword in the guy's gut. And I also wanted to show just how big the monster was compared to the other person. And then the final page of this sketchbook is this. I think it's supposed to be like, can you even see this? His hand going through the monster, sort of the way Grimjow killed that, I forget the character's name in Bleach, to become the 6th Sparta again. And that is it for my sketchbook from junior year of high school. I'm sorry this is such a long video. I did have a lot of fun making it, and I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching it. And I have other sketchbook videos on my channel, and you can find that in a playlist. There will probably be a link somewhere on the screen somewhere. So anyway, I hope you guys subscribe to my channel.